Hello and welcome to ATech. My name is Akshay and we are back with new part of this tutorial series, and today we will learn what is generics in C#. So we will see generics as well as we will see the advantages that we get by using generics in C#. So first of all, it is a syntactical support offered in C# for implementing type-safe code pattern which can be reused with different managed type. Now what this means, let's just see directly in an action, and for that let's just switch to Visual Studio. So let's just create one class here, that is class test, okay, like this. And let's say we have one method here, public void equality test. Okay, we will see if two entities are equal or not. Okay, equality test like this we will take here, and we will take for now two parameters, that is integer. Let's say if two integer values are equal or not. Okay, maybe first value and second value. Okay, let's say if two integer values are equal or not. And we will print that onto the console. Okay, if it is so, we will print that onto the console like this. Equal means first we have to check if that first value is equals second value, like this. And if it is so, we will print that equal, and if not, we will print not equal. Okay, so very simple method here. Okay, and now we will go to the main method and we will create the instance of that class, that is test class, that will be big T. Okay, test T is equals to new test, and we know in that we have a method that is equality test, and we have to pass two parameters there, and both are of integer type. Okay, so if we hover mouse over here, so in IntelliSense we can see that it is expecting two integer parameters to be passed here. Okay, I will pass 150 for now. It should print false or it should print not equal. Okay, and let's just see that if I run this, okay, so it is printing not equal. And if I would have passed 100 here, and now if I run, so it is printing that equal. So our method is working fine, our application code is working fine. But now instead of these two integers number, I want to check if two decimal values are equal or not, like this. But as soon as I pass that decimal value, here it is throwing an error, and what it says, cannot convert from double to int. Yes, because we are expecting both these two parameters as integer, that is both these parameters as an integer, but I am passing that double here. But if I want to do that, if both these decimal values are equal or not, we have to use another method, and we can do that. Okay, we can have the overloaded version of this method, and instead of integer here I will take double here. Okay, in both these places double. Okay, alright, now as soon as I do that, that error will go away, and now we are able to pass the decimal values as well. And now if I run, so it will give that output, that is equal. If I would have passed that 101 here, and now if I run, it should print that not equal. Okay, so it is working also fine. But now I want to see if two strings are equal or not, like this, Akshay and Akshay. But it will not allow us to do that. But why? Because it is expecting, because it has a two overloaded version for this method, that is this equality test. that is which is taking double as well as int and not the string, but we can do that as well. Okay, let's just have another method which will take string instead of int, and as soon as I do that, we are able to pass that as well in that method. Okay, so it is not giving any error, and now if I run, it should print equal. Okay, fine, it is also working. But what do you really think, guys, that is this a really efficient way of coding? No, it is not a maintainable code. It is not as efficient as it would have been that if there would have been a single method which is doing all the work, which would take string also, integer also, and as well as double also in a single method. So that would have been a very efficient way of coding. And now can we do that? Yes, we can do that using generics. So that's why we use generics. And now if I remove all this method from here, that is both these two methods here, if I remove that, and instead of that, let's just use generics here. And how we can do that? By putting that angular bracket in front of that method name, and in that there, and in that I will pass that t as well as here and here as well, here. And as soon as I do that, the error will go away. Okay, now it is able to accept any kind of a value, and I will show you that. But before that, let me fix this, because that plus operator will not work on the t, because it is a generic type. And we have learned, when we have learned operator overloading, that operator overloading, in that also we have learned, and in that we have learned that plus operator can only be applied on built-in types such as int, double, string as well, but it is not a built-in type, as well as it will not work on class also. Okay, so that is a reference type and user definable type. On that also we cannot use that plus operator. So all that we have learned in this very tutorial series. Okay, so now instead of that, what I can do, I can check something like this, equals that second value, something like this. And now if I do that, and error will go away, and if I run that, okay, so it is printing that equal. And now similarly, this string, instead of this string, I can pass any value here, that is 100 here and 100 here. Okay, and it is allowing that also. If we run that, we will get output as well. So, and if I would have passed 100.5 here, that is 100.5, and 99 here, and if I would have run that, okay, so it should print that not equal. Now this single method is capable of accepting any kind of a value, and that's what this generic provides the advantage in this C#. That is the power of generics, using this generics in C#. And let's just see that now, that is advantages. So these are the advantages we get by using generics in C#. First, it provides efficiency, and we have just seen that instead of using that 3 methods and n number of methods as soon as our requirement grows, and instead of using those many methods, we are using single method with generic, that is generic type, and that provides us so much efficiency to our code. And that is second type. And what is second advantage? That is, it provides a type safety. And now how it is providing the type safety, let's just see that. Now just consider, we have passed that parameter as a generic parameter. Okay, now it is not necessary to use this t only, we can use anything here. I can pass that f also there, something like this. So that is not mandatory, you can pass anything, but that t is nothing but a convention to use generics, because that t indicates the type. Okay, so for that only, otherwise we can pass anything there. Now as I was talking about the type safety here, so I cannot do something like this here. Instead of, even though we have passed this type as a generic type, but we cannot do something like this. If I pass string here, so as soon as I try to do that as well, it is throwing an error. And what it says, the type argument for method test equality cannot be inferred from the usage, because that's because a type safe nature of generics. even though there is a type that is a generic type, we cannot do something like this. We cannot check a string with an integer. We cannot do that, and that's what the type safe nature of these generics. Now instead of using this generic, what if I would have taken parameter as object here? Because we know that object is a base type of everything, that is every type in the C#, and that we have learned. Okay, as soon as I do that, that error goes away. And why? Because this string will going to ultimately convert in this object only, because this object is a base type of all the types, as well as similarly this value, that is integer value, will going to be converted ultimately into this object only, that is this object only. And how that happens? Using boxing and unboxing in C#, and that also we have learned in this very tutorial series. If you don't understand, and if you are not aware about what is boxing and unboxing and how does that happen, and how compiler boxes the value type into an object and unwraps that value from the object using unboxing, so to understand that in detail, just refer to the boxing and unboxing phenomena in this very tutorial series, and I have explained that in this tutorial series. And you will find that link for this boxing and unboxing, that is the video of that boxing and unboxing, in this description below. You can check that out. So you have to understand that how implicitly compiler do that. So that is why. Now coming back to this concept, as soon as I make that object, compiler is allowing that as well, because it will going to ultimately convert to the object. But if I run that, it is not equal, and that doesn't make any sense, because we are comparing this string with this integer, but compiler is letting us do that because we are used that object here, and this is not type safe nature. But if we would have done that with type here, that is generic types here, so compiler is not allowing us that. That is the type safe nature of generic by using generics. So that's how it provides a type safety to our code, and also provides a reusability. Okay, as I have shown you, instead of getting or using so much methods here, so many methods here, that is 2 or 3 methods, we are using this single method many times. We can pass integers here, we can pass this double here, something like this, or we can maybe pass integers as strings as well. Okay, like this. So this single method is allowing us to pass any kind of a parameter here, and this is nothing but a reusability of this method. Okay, and that's what the advantage generics provides us. And now what is the fourth advantage, and very important advantage, which we cannot able to see in this application, and neither I can show you that, but I can tell you that it prevents unnecessary type conversion. And how that is the advantage? Because if it is preventing that unnecessary type conversion, so it is nothing but enhancing the efficiency of our code. And let me show you that how it is happening. Now just consider, if I don't use this generic here, and instead of that I will put object here like this. Okay, so it is also allowing that. I can give these strings also, or I can use integers also, and if I run this, it will give that output. Okay, but as I have already told you, this string will going to be ultimately converted to this object, and unnecessary boxing and unboxing mechanism, and what we can say unnecessary boxing and unboxing operation will be happened in this code. Compiler will do that, and that is not efficient. So that is why, instead of this object, if I would have used generics here, so there is no need of unnecessary boxing and unboxing to be performed by the compiler, and that is providing an efficiency to our code. So much of a time is saved, as well as the efforts of compiler is saved, and that is nothing but enhancing the efficiency of this code. And that's what the advantages generics provides. Okay, now can we use these generics with methods only? No, we can use that with this class as well. If I make this class as generics, something like this, and if I remove this from here, so I can able to use that. Now you might be wondering, if I use that angular bracket here, so there is no problem, or what I would have do, or what if I would have not used that here as well as here. So can we do that? No, it is giving an error. The type or namespace T could not be found because it is not considering this T as a generic type here. Instead, this is considering this as one of the type, and that is integer or string maybe, that is compiler is checking if this is a type, kind of a type that is present in this C# or present in this framework. No, but to make that as generic, we have to use that angular bracket in front of that method, something like this. Or instead of that, if we don't want to use that here, we can use that in front of this class. And as soon as I make that T, and as soon as I use that T in front of this class, so I am making this class, this whole class as a generic class, and whatever type I pass in the main method for this class, that all this method will work on that type only. Let me show you that what I mean. Okay, so now it is giving an error because we have made that type as a generic. Okay, so now if I pass string here, something like this, okay, instead of that passing that here, I have to use that here. Okay, and now as soon as I make that class string, that is work on string, this method will work on string only. Because, and let me show you that if I try to use that string here instead of integer here instead of that string, it will not let us allow, the compiler will not let us do that. Okay, it is throwing an error, and what it says, cannot convert from int to string, because we are using generics with class now, because this time we are using that generic with type and not the method. That is, this class has defined its types to be work, its members to be work on this string only. And if I use that integer here, now it is good. Okay, we can use that, something like this. But again, if I want to pass string here, something like this, so again compiler will not let us do that. Okay, because we are now using generics with this type, and this whole type and a type member will only work on the type which is passed here. Okay, so that's what the disadvantage of using this generic with type. So we have to be very careful using this generic also. If this method will not gonna work, if this method will not going to be work, the type, different type other than the type provided in this class, so we can use that. But otherwise, if we know we have to work on different types with this method, so we can define that here only with the method only. Okay, and as soon as I do that, I don't need to do that here only, and instead of that I can pass that here, something like this. Okay, and now it is also not necessary to pass this angular bracket here. If I don't do that, if I don't use that, that is also fine. That angular bracket in definition, that angular bracket in this usage is optional. Okay, I can use these integer values as well. I will show you that. I will put 100 here, so it will print not equal this time. Okay, so it is working as expected. So that angular bracket is optional here. Okay, and can we use that with this class only, that is this generics with this class only? No, we can use that with interface as well. Let me take one interface here, interface test, that is iTest, and instead of providing that method directly here, we will take that through interface. And how interface works and what is interface, we have seen in this tutorial series. We have learned that. If you guys not aware about this, just check the interface video in this tutorial series. You will find that in this tutorial series. Okay, so Now if I use that method something like this, and we know we don't have to use this public because there is no need taking this public access modifier in this interface, and that is possible with C# 8.0, but as I am not using that C# 8.0, so I am not able to use that here only. Okay, so we don't have to use that public access modifier because by default this method is public in this interface. Okay, and that also we have learned in this tutorial series. Okay, and I will inherit that test from that iTest interface. Okay, and now if I would have comment this, so it should give error because I am already implementing that, so that's why it was not throwing any error. But we know we have to implement the interface. Okay, test does not implement interface member iTest equality, and if I go to the show potential fixes and implement interface, so this is nothing but same we have done before, we have used before. Okay, we are implementing this method from this interface, which is a generic method. Okay, and now instead of using this reference variable, we can use that reference variable for the abstraction, and we have learned that also in this very tutorial series, why we use something like this, why abstraction is needed, why abstraction is needed in application, in our application. Okay, okay, so it is giving that output. If I would have pass 100 here, okay, so it should print equal. Okay, so it is working fine, and now we are using that through interface with using generics as well. And now why we use interface? If I go to the definition, it is redirecting us to the definition and not the implementation, and that's what we have learned, what is the abstraction. Okay, and this is nothing but generics, how we use generics and why we use generics in C#. Okay, so let's just quickly see the summary. Generics are introduced in C# 2.0 for decoupling the classes, methods, interface, etc. with data types. Okay, and that we have just seen. To decouple, to use the class, interface, data types and methods to be data type independent, we use generics, and that is introduced in C# 2.0 along with C# 2.0. And second point, that is generics enables a high level language compiler identify matching data type and eliminate unnecessary type conversion. Okay, that is one of the advantage, that is prevents unnecessary type conversion. So how compiler do that? With using this generic, because generic enables a high level compiler to identify a matching data type at runtime, and also it eliminates the unnecessary type conversions, and that makes our application more efficient. Okay, and what is third point? Types are substituted at runtime with generic type depending on the type of data we passed. Okay, so depend on this type of data we have passed here, compiler finds the matching data type and it replaces that data type with this type of data we have passed here. Now if I pass that string here, maybe at this time instead of the string I will pass that integer here. Okay, maybe this time we are able to see that. Okay, so this is the type, that this data is of type integer, but as I have told you, this is not mandatory, this is optional thing. So how would compiler also know that this is a type of integer? Okay, that this data is of type integer. So that's what compiler finds out, and that's what compiler finds out at runtime. Okay, as you can see, types are substituted at runtime with generic type depending on the type of data passed. Okay, and that's how compiler finds that. So that's it for today, and this is nothing but generics in C#. And in the next part of this tutorial series, we will see collections in C#, and that collection uses these generics, that is this fundamental generics, extensively with them in C#. Okay, so how they use these generics, we will see that in next tutorial. Until then, subscribe this channel, like, comment, share. We will meet soon in this next video of this tutorial series, that is collection in C#. Till then, stay tuned and thank you.